How you doing all? This is Instagram for YouTubePart. Blimey, must be 20 now. If you're new to the channel, you haven't seen this before, on my Instagram channel I put up every now and again sort of 60-second videos, hints, tips, and why I'm taking a shot and why I'm using filters, why I'm doing this. When I've got sort of 6 in the bag, I bang them together and put them into a YouTube video. So this is only about 5 minutes long, 6 minutes long, but enjoy if you like. Come across the Instagram and you can see them weekly, monthly, whenever they're on there. Right, how you doing all? Got a cool shot here, but because of the time of year and there's no leaves on the trees, normally when I do this kind of shot looking at the water, I get the camera nice and low. Because there's no leaves on the trees, the top of the picture is really white. So what I'm doing is getting the camera up really high and then looking down on the scene, and then there's not as much sky. There's a little bit of sky, so I've got a 0.9 soft graduated filter to slow the light coming through the non-leaf trees. I've got my 0.6 IRND to extend the exposure. F13, 13 seconds, ISO 100. This is what the shot looks like. Right, how you doing all? I drive over this bridge pretty much every day, twice. So I've come back at the weekends because there's definitely a shot here somewhere. I'm not quite sure what it's called. I'll have a look and I'll put it on the screen somewhere. There may be a shot in landscape, but I think it's probably better in portrait, thinking kind of front cover. Going to use this stone wall as a leading line. I'm going to focus a third of the way into the scene. F13, ISO 200, third of the sky at the top, 2/3 landscape, foreground at the bottom. And yeah, it's not a bad shot. This is what it looks like. Cool leading line of the wall. Alright, how you doing all? Got a cool shot here. Don't know what this is called. What I'm trying to do is get my camera as close to the front little bit of waterfall as I can. Shoot up. There's no leaves on the trees, so I'm not really worried about the sky. There's nothing up there. Too much bright light, so I'm getting the camera nice and low, and it's all about the little waterfall, and see if I can get some texture in those front rocks. Show you what I mean. There's my camera. And I'm focused right on here. It's all about this lot here. I've got my IRND 6 stop, I think it is, to extend the exposure. I've got my Lee 0.9 soft grad, because there's a little bit of light creeping through at the top here. ISO 100, F13, 13 seconds. How you doing all? Like I've said in some of my past videos, because there's no leaves on the trees at the minute, trying to shoot landscapes is a nightmare because you've got the dark foreground, but because there's no leaves, the top of the picture is just light. There's all the lights getting through the branches. So you can put graduated filters on, but it's just not a pleasing picture. So get down low and don't even put the sky in the picture. Just keep it nice and low. Concentrate on the sharpness of the rocks and the white water. Either like it or hate it. Down on the river that runs through Badger's Oak. The reason I like the shot is the framing of these trees. Probably go for a square format or a 4:3 landscape. But yeah, it's all about the curve of these trees framing it. I've gone for long exposure to smooth the water out because the water's quite bitty. It just doesn't look very nice. So I've gone for sort of 13 seconds. Got my Lee IRND 6 stop filter on to give me that extended shutter speed. Aperture of f14, ISO 50. I may shoot ISO 100 or 50, one of the two, just to stretch it out a little bit longer. Focused on the rocks in the foreground. There's only really one group set of rocks, but I quite like it. It's quite a nice shot, like I say, because of the framing of the trees. Here's the shot. Right, how you doing all? Just want to show you how cool a neutral density filter is. Whatever it is, neutral density, 3 stop, 4 stop, 5 stop, whatever. I'm using an IRND 6 stop because I love my Lee IRND 6 stop. But what changes it can make, just little changes in a shot. I'm shooting up the river here. This is the first shot, no neutral density filter at all. Look at the water in the foreground. This is a 1/4 of a second. Now what I'm going to do is put this baby on. It's going to give me an exposure of 20 seconds. So it's going from a 1/4 of a second up to 20 seconds. Look what it does to the water in the foreground. It's only a little change, but I just think it Looks a bit more pleasing to the eye. Cool. Cheers. Bye.